Tears blind my eyes as I run as fast as my legs can carry me, bolting down the sidewalk like an Olympic runner during a race. The pounding sound of my sneakers resonates off of the pavement with a clanging echo that matches the beat of my heart throbbing inside of my chest. Covered in blood and out of breath, Amanda and I finally make it back to the hotel. Once we're inside our room, I slam the door behind us, and the numb and unsteady feeling in my legs causes me to collapse up against it. My mind becomes scattered and unfocused as a million thoughts race through it, all jumbled together. After giving me a few minutes to collect myself and calm down slightly, Amanda finally says, "We better get going. It won't be long before the cops come looking for us." Yeah, I guess you're right. Once we've changed our clothes and washed up, we grab the rest of our things and head to the car. I'm not in any shape to drive, so I hand the keys to Amanda. After driving for about an hour, we stop for some gas. Before Amanda gets out of the car, she tells me, "I need your credit card. I don't have any money." I look at her dumbfounded. We can't use my credit card to pay for anything. I used it to buy a pack of cigarettes right before we killed that man, and also to pay for the hotel room. Once the cops track me back to that gas station that I purchased them from, my credit card records are going to be the first thing they start searching through to try to locate our whereabouts. She turns away ashamed as a look of embarrassment covers her face. I didn't even think of that. I dig into my purse, pull out $30 and hand it to her. I have a little cash on me, but we'll have to stop by a bank soon so that I can get some more. She takes the money. "Do you want anything while I'm in there?" "I guess just a bottle of water." "Okay, I'll be right back." Once she returns, she gives me my water, pumps the gas, and then we get back on the road. I have no idea where Amanda plans on going. I know that I don't have anywhere particular in mind. As we're driving down the road, my nerves are so on edge. Each car that passes by terrifies me to no end because the only thing going through my mind is that every single headlight resembles a phantom that's coming to get me. Amanda can sense my jumpiness. "Don't worry, we just have to stay on our toes and be ready for any and everything. We can beat the game again. I just know it." I give her a weak smile. I'm glad she has so much faith. But running from the cops isn't really a game. It's more of life and death, because no one wants to spend the rest of their life in jail. I lie my seat back and close my eyes. I just need a few minutes of peace and quiet, but I end up dozing off, because the next thing I know, I'm having a horrible nightmare that the police are chasing us. I bolt awake, my eyes now wide open and alert like two flashlight beams, and my hands are trembling. "Are you all right?" Amanda asks. "How long was I out?" She glances at the clock on the dashboard. "A little over an hour." Suddenly I blurt out, "I think we need to ditch the car." Okay. It's your car, so it's your decision, but I don't think it's a good idea. How are we going to get around if we get rid of it?" "I don't know, maybe a bus," I suggest, but after thinking about it for a moment, I say, "Never mind, you're right. We should probably keep it, at least for a little longer." Next, Amanda pulls into the parking lot of a bank. "What are you doing? I can't go inside. Someone might see me." "Well, the only ATM they have is inside. Do you want me to keep going until we see another one?" "No, this is fine," I tell her as I look around to make sure that nobody's watching us. Then I pull my hoodie up over the back of my head and get out of the car. Luckily, when I get inside, there are no other customers waiting to use the ATM, so I'm able to get in and out of there pretty quickly. "Everything good?" Amanda questions when I look around before I creep back into the car. "Yeah, but I was only able to take out $500. After that, we stop at a McDonald's drive-thru for a bite to eat, and then we get back on the road. "So, is there anywhere in particular that you'd like to go?" I ask, then take a sip of my soda. With a huge smile, Amanda answers, "I always wanted to go to Hawaii, but I thought when I finally did get the chance to go, it'd be to take a vacation, not to hide out from the cops." "Hawaii sounds nice, but there's no way we could get on a plane when the cops are looking for us. Plus, don't you think we'd stick out like a sore thumb there? I think we should go somewhere that we'd blend in, like a big city with lots of people. What about Los Angeles, New York, or maybe Vegas? Just then, a bolt of lightning illuminates the night sky, and then seconds later, thunder rumbles in the distance. Dark storm clouds smother the sky, turning the world around us gray. Then, drops of rain begin to beat down on the windshield like hammers. Amanda's eyes stayed glued to the road, and her foot remains on the gas pedal. She isn't going to let a little rain slow us down. Right now, putting distance between us and the police is all that matters. We know we have a head start, but how much of one, I'm not sure. Do you want to switch and I drive for a while so that you can have a break? I ask Amanda. I can tell she's getting tired. No, that's okay. I think I can last a little longer. So she continues to drive while I take a nap. But shortly after I fall asleep, a nudge to my ribs forces me to jerk awake, and the first thing I see is Amanda's panic-stricken face. What's the matter? She provides no response. She only lifts her eyes and glances in the rearview mirror, and as I sit up, I catch a glimpse of red and blue flashing lights in my side view mirror. How did they find us so fast? I whisper aloud. This is all my fault. We should have just ditched the car like you said, Amanda cries. Now what are we going to do? I don't want to go to jail. Neither do I. Now just be quiet so that I can think for a second. The police sirens blare as Amanda weaves dangerously in and out of traffic, dodging the other vehicles on the road as an onslaught of bullet-sized raindrops thunder down onto the windshield. The wipers move back and forth frantically over a never-ending sheet of water, blurring the street in front of us. She wildly swerves to make it around the next corner, causing the back end of my car to go skidding out. The tires squeal when she slams on the brakes, trying to regain control. The engine of my tiny car is being pushed to the limit. We're going almost 100 miles an hour, but unfortunately, it's not enough. As they get closer and start closing in on us, I tell Amanda, "You're not going to like this, but I think that the only way for us to make an escape and possibly get away is if we split up and make a run for it." Are you crazy? No, Ashley, they're going to catch us. We have to at least try, and I can't think of any other way. Sooner or later, we're going to run out of gas, or hit one of the traps that they've set up for us, and we'll most likely end up crashing and have to make a mad dash for it anyway. So I say, better now than later. What happens if they catch one of us and then the other gets away? If it comes to that, then just tell them the truth, about everything. Even the killings? Yeah, we're already in enough deep shit. I don't see any reason to lie and dig ourselves into an even deeper hole. She remains silent for a moment. I take it that she's thinking about what she believes we should do next. Don't worry. If you're able to get away from them, find a place to hide until tomorrow morning when things die down a little. Then we'll meet back up at the restaurant. You know, the same one where we ran into each other again after the kidnapping. If I'm not there by 10 a.m. tomorrow, then you'll know I got captured, and vice versa. Finally, she replies, "Okay." Then she proceeds to slow down, and we both crack open our door. I silently count to myself. 1. I unbuckle my seatbelt and push the door open farther. 2. I turn sideways in my seat, lean forward, and brace myself. 3. I leap out of the open door, making sure to tuck and roll. Then I go rolling at rapid speed down a hill and come to a stop at the bottom, jump up and start running, hoping that Amanda got away too. I can hear the officer shouting at the top of the hill, "They're running! We need backup!" I run through a maze of buildings and winding side streets, desperately searching for a place to hide. Thunder still rumbles every now and again, and the now heavy rain drenches me. As I attempt to turn the corner onto the next street, my feet slip outward on the wet autumn leaves, causing me to stumble and almost lose my balance. I hop over a wall, land on some stairs, and slightly twist my ankle. With each footfall after that, a jarring pain shoots from my ankle all the way up to my knee. Perhaps deciding to jump that wall back there wasn't so smart, I think to myself. My heart beats frantically, but I don't stop. It's all or nothing now. I figure if I keep running, then the damage is limited to my ankle, and maybe some cuts and bruises. But if the cops catch up to me, then my whole body will pay the price. I suspect that they'll shoot me dead because I have no plans on going to jail. I'll do whatever I've got to do to fight them, If they want me, then they're gonna have to work damn hard to catch me. Especially when none of this is even my fault. I was just defending myself. Well, at least I thought I was defending myself, but I'm sure they won't see it that way. The cool evening air shocks my throat and lungs as I inhale deeper and faster. When I stumble across an empty alleyway, I debate whether or not to hide inside the rusted, graffiti-covered dumpster. I could cover myself with garbage to avoid being seen, but if the police bring out the search dogs, then I'm really screwed. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, I tell myself, as I dash into the alley and climb inside. After closing the lid, I lie down on a pile of black trash bags, which will be my bed for the night. Then I grab anything that's within my reach and start piling it over myself like a blanket. Once I'm completely covered, I close my eyes and try to relax a little. But it's kind of hard when the only thing that I can smell is rotten food and shitty diapers. And every time a squad car zooms past with their sirens blaring, my heart nearly thumps out of my chest. I'm not sure how much time passes while I'm in there, but I hear people coming and going, and a few people from the businesses and apartment buildings nearby come and throw more trash into the dumpster. Finally, once I think that the coast is clear, I climb back out, rip off my hoodie that's covered in something that looks like mayonnaise, but smells extremely nasty, and resort to just wearing my tank top. I'll have to deal with wearing the same jeans for now. I just so happened to find a shabby baseball cap sticking out of one of the trash bags, so I grab it and pull it down over my head, then make my way out of the alley. Then I start heading to the restaurant to meet Amanda. When I arrive, I don't see her at first, but after walking around to the back of the building, my heart catches in my throat when I hear someone whisper my name. I freeze for a second, and then slowly turn around to find Amanda crouching behind a pile of milk crates. I race over and hug her. I was starting to think you had gotten caught. Why would you think that? What time is it? She glances down at the watch on her wrist. 10:06. But Ashley, it's been 2 whole days. I stare at her astonished. Why are you still here? You should be long gone by now. She shrugs her shoulders and replies, I don't know. I just had a feeling that I should wait. We get a room at a rundown motel not too far from the restaurant. Thankfully, I still have the $500 on me that I took out of the ATM the night that we ran from the cops, so I pay cash for the room. Once we're safe inside, Amanda catches me off guard when she tells me that she knows exactly where we need to go. I know where to find them, she says excitedly. Who? The game instructor and his crew of people. How in the hell do you know that? I ask, but instead of giving me an answer, she quickly changes the subject. Do you want to order some pizza? I'm starving. Yeah, me too. I haven't eaten anything in 2 days. Okay, I'll go call now. How does pepperoni sound? Yeah, that's fine, I answer. Then as she picks up the phone and dials the number, I continue to think more about what she just said, wondering how she could possibly know anything about the game instructor and where to find him. Once she's off the phone, we sit around talking about how we got away from the cops and where we hid out until we met up with each other again. Then 20 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. I hand Amanda the cash to pay for the pizza, and then she cautiously approaches the door and peers through the peephole. Just as she's about to open it, the phone rings. We stare at each other, both of us thinking the same thing. Is it him? Could it be the game instructor calling, warning us that we're in danger and that we need to run again? Answer it, she tells me as she unlocks and opens the door.
Hello, Ashley. Don't say anything. Just listen, and I'll make this quick. I thought that you should know when the two of you were split up, Amanda had a little run-in with law enforcement. Me, myself, is the one who got her out of there. She took the deal that I offered her. She agreed to become a part of the organization. Do you remember when I said that the two of you were violent and hostile, and that's what I liked about you?
Yes?
Well, looking back now, I can see that it's actually been her all along. She's the one who shot my coworker, and then she attacked the man who followed you and stabbed him to death. It just so happened to be bad luck that he had asthma, but after seeing her actions and tendencies, my partners and I talked it over and thought that she'd be a great addition to the team. And guess what? She accepted without even giving it a second thought. But do you know what was included in those terms and conditions?
No, what?
Killing you. The other members of my team seem to think that she needs to get rid of the last little loose end. But as the game instructor of all this, I tend to like things a little more complicated. It makes the game more interesting.
As Amanda closes the door and walks over with the pizza, I get a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. As much as I don't want to believe it or accept it, she has been acting a little funny lately. Then I start to think about how she killed the two men and how both times it wasn't even necessary. And then I remember how she said, what if the two of us had to kill each other? That means that she must have been thinking about it long before the game instructor even suggested it. I can just imagine her face when she accepted his offer, knowing how kill happy she's been this whole time. Then the game instructor continues.
So without my other partners okay, I decided to give you a call to warn you. Maybe you can pull an upset and kill her first before she has the chance to take you out. Now, Ashley, I don't want you to take this lightly because I don't usually do things like this, but I can sense something in you that just tickles my fancy. So good luck.
Then he ends the call. I hang up the phone. Who was that? Amanda asks as she shoots me a suspicious look. I'm hoping she doesn't notice the stunned look on my face. Oh, it was just the lady at the front desk. Well, what did she want? To know if we needed anything, I reply as I take a bite of my pizza. Once we've eaten, we sit around watching TV. I don't know if I'm just being paranoid or if maybe I'm crazy, but I swear I keep seeing Amanda glance over at me out of the corner of my eye. And that night, I can't sleep. I keep thinking, what if she wakes up in the morning and tries to poison my coffee or something, or tries to kill me in my sleep while my guard is down? But I make it through the next day in one piece, and by the time night falls, I'm still alive. That's when Amanda and I check out of the motel and get on the road. Somehow, she was able to get her hands on a rental car. She said that a friend of hers owed her a favor and put it in their name. We're heading to the secret place now that she claims is where we're going to find the game instructor. I begged her to go while it was still daylight, but she refused, which got me thinking maybe the game instructor was telling me the truth. She's trying to get me all alone so that she can kill me. So, what are you expecting to happen when we get there? I ask her while we drive through the middle of nowhere. I don't know, maybe the same thing as before. We walk in and everybody just starts clapping. Then he strolls in and congratulates us and tells us that this stupid game is finally over. So you've got it all figured out, huh? You know, you never did say how you found out where to locate him. He called me. How? Neither of us have a phone. Remember we ditched them back at my apartment? I was just walking down the street and a payphone rung. Something told me to answer it, so I did, and it was him. And he just so happened to tell you where to find him? Why would he do that? Well, not exactly. He gave me a bunch of clues. I think he wanted me to figure them out. Just then, we pull up in front of a massive warehouse. The corrugated iron roof is domed and nearly 30 feet high, making it look like a cathedral. We get out of the car and slowly make our way through the metal chain link fence. Are you sure about this? I ask Amanda, giving her one last chance to tell me what's really going on. But instead, she answers, Yeah, follow me. So I hesitantly walk through the door behind her, making sure to keep a good distance, at least a few feet between us, just in case she suddenly turns around and tries to stab me or something. Then, right at that moment, something hits me. When she shot me during the first game, did she know it was a game the whole time? Did she do it on purpose? I think we should split up. I'll go this way and you go look over there, she tells me. All right, I answer, then turn and go to the right, thinking to myself, why would she suggest that we split up? It's dangerous enough that we're even here. Now I'm starting to think she lured me here so that she could kill me and get rid of my body easily with no witnesses around to see. The motel was definitely not the place to commit a murder. Too many people around that may see or hear something. This is definitely the type of place I would go to do it. As I creep along through each aisle of the warehouse, I keep my eyes peeled for any sight of somebody trying to sneak up on me, because I'm not sure who's telling the truth, Amanda or the game instructor. I don't know who or what to believe anymore. I tiptoe along, searching the shelves for a weapon, but all I find are a lot of empty boxes, papers, and trash strewn about. The direction that Amanda went in is where all of the rooms were. I wonder if she found anything or anyone. Just as I'm about to head down the next aisle, I hear the sound of footsteps behind me. When I stop, they stop as well. Then I keep going and the footsteps start back up again. When I stop again a little further down the aisle, so do they. That's when I spot a steel pipe sitting on the shelf in between two boxes. It appears to be about 6 inches long, but I could be wrong, because part of it is concealed by the boxes and it's pretty dark in here. So the next step I take, I reach out and grab a hold of it, gripping it tightly in both of my hands, and to my luck, it's longer than I thought. I tighten my hands around it like a baseball bat. Then I spin around and start swinging it wildly through the air. "Ashley, what are you doing? Put that down, it's me," Amanda screams, as she bobs and weaves, trying to duck out of the way. "Why are you following me? You didn't even call out my name to warn me that you were coming. You were sneaking up on me, weren't you? You were the one who said that we should split up, and then you went the other way, so why are you back over here?" I shout at her. "There was nothing down that way, so I turned around and came back this way." The fact that she's standing here, lying to my face when I clearly already know what's going on, only pisses me off even more. "He's not even here, is he?" I ask. She grins. "Yeah, I thought I could fool you. But no, he's not here. I told you I knew that they were going to try to make us kill each other. They're not trying to make us kill each other. You're doing that for them, and I'm not going to be just some pawn for you to kill in this game." Then I swing the pipe again, and this time it makes contact with her cheek. She hits the floor, dazed, then pulls out a knife, gets back up, and starts charging at me, swinging it wildly, trying to cut me. But I just lift the pipe up to block all of her slices. "Just face it, you were going to die anyway, Ashley. You're not cut out for this. If it wasn't for me, you would have been dead a long time ago." Then she grabs the pole from my hands, throws it to the ground, and lunges at me. I grab her arm that's holding the knife and stick one of my legs in back of hers, and then push her, which causes her to tumble backwards. She tries to cut me again, but I force her hand down and pin it to the ground beneath my knee. That's when I notice the pipe on the ground, and it's within my reach, so I grab it and start beating her face in. Immediately, I hear a cracking sound, like bone breaking. Blood starts gushing everywhere, soaking her face, me, and the entire area on the floor around her. Once I've beaten her to a bloody pulp, I get up, take the keys from her purse, and then coldly step over her dead body, and just as I begin to walk away, a phone starts to ring. I follow the sound of it, and it leads me back to Amanda. I find it stashed in the bottom of her purse. When I see that it's the game instructor calling, I answer it.
Hello, Ashley. I have to say that you've surprised me. I didn't think you had it in you. But congratulations, you've won the game. But there's one last thing I want you to know. The cops, they were never really after the two of you. My crew and I got rid of any evidence that could have led them back to you. And when you thought that they were chasing you, well, that was just some of the people who work for me. Nothing but a couple of Dodge Chargers with sirens and lights that you can buy online for $35 to chase you for a couple of blocks and make you think that there's a worldwide manhunt going on for you. And your friend Amanda, I know I told you she got arrested, but she never actually did. I told her the same story that I told you, just to see what the outcome would be. But now that we all know you're a bona fide killer, and by the way, might I say a fantastic one you are, so much anger and brutality, it was beautiful to watch you. So now you have two options. You can either join us, or you can go back to living your everyday life, not knowing who to trust or what's real and what isn't.
I stand there for a moment thinking, Do I really want to go back to my boring life, where all I do is go to work and then come home to answer my annoying mother's phone calls, where everyone I know probably thinks that I'm weak and can't survive without them, just like Amanda did? Or do I want something more exciting? Then suddenly, I hear the sound of a door open, and the game instructor walks out and approaches me. Have you made a decision? I nod my head and give him a devilish grin. Then he reaches out to shake my hand. Welcome to the organization. Don't forget to subscribe for new stories weekly. See you next time on
Nino's Nightmares.
Really? You're supposed to click the like button, not me. Ugh.